Today, I'll be ranking the best recovery tools that you can use either after a match, after training, or even for an injury to get back on the pitch as soon as possible. So let's get straight into it. So the first recovery tool that we're looking at are the almighty compression boots. Now these suckers are everywhere, and it seems like this is the tool that is going to help you recover in the best possible way, and it's everything you ever need. And the way compression boots work is that it uses air to put pressure on your muscles by compressing them, which then improves blood flow and blood circulation, which can then help reduce soreness and reduce fatigue in your leg. So these boots are usually not bought individually by players, but more so used at physiotherapist centers, or they are bought by clubs so that players can use them while at the center. And I would give these boots a solid E. And the reason why is because they are hella expensive. If you were to get one, it would be between $700 and $900. And if you were to go to a physiotherapy center to get a session done, it's probably between $25 to $60. And although one session doesn't seem that expensive, we'll explore other options in this video that will do so much better for you at a much cheaper cost, and some are even free. Now the next recovery tool is the massage gun. And as the name suggests, it is a gun that massages you. Now, massage guns can help improve blood flow and also release strength and tightness in your muscles when you use it at a particular spot on the muscle. Now, having used this myself personally, I can say that it does feel really good after using massage gun, but I only use it whenever I have injuries, or whenever there's an ache in the muscle, or there's a tightness that I just can't get it released through any stretching or any foam rolling. A massage gun can range anywhere between $20 and $100 depending on what kind of a gun you get. But overall, I'll give this a solid B because I do feel there are benefits for a massage gun, and because there are cheaper versions of it as well, I do feel that if you do have an injury and you do have a tightness that you just can't get rid of, having a massage gun to get in there and just really target that muscle can actually really help you get rid of that tightness or that strain. So the next one is a sauna or a jacuzzi. Now, the warm water and the warm atmosphere in the sauna and jacuzzis can help improve blood flow, help with relaxation, and help reduce muscle soreness in the body. We have seen Ronaldo using this as well before games, as he takes a warm dip in the bathtub for half an hour to relax his muscles and therefore improve blood circulation so that he can better perform in his game. Now, this is also something that you can replicate at home. All you would need is a bathtub and warm water, so it is relatively cheap. You don't necessarily have to go to a special place to get it done. And yes, it does feel really good to dip yourself in warm water and feel like you're having a hot bath by the ocean. And considering how cheap this is, I would give this a solid B. And I give this a B because I feel that there are other things that you can do that will help you recover much better. And this jacuzzi and sauna are just like the icing on the cake that will help you just feel that much better. Now, number 4 is the cryotherapy chamber. Now, the cryotherapy chamber is basically where you go in and you expose yourself to really cold environment for a few minutes, and then this helps to improve blood circulation in the body and therefore reduce soreness. Again, we've seen footballers do this as well, especially Ronaldo. So if you have the means for it, of course you can give it a try, but most of us do not have the money to go and get ourselves into a cryotherapy chamber. So from me, the cryotherapy chamber gets solid C, because I believe that it does have its benefits, but because we cannot afford it, might put it down a little bit lower. So the next item is the KT tape. These tapes are those colorful tapes that you see in the store, and they are relatively cheap. So what this tape does is that it helps with reducing swelling, it helps to relieve pain, and also helps with muscle performance. So a study was done with 2 groups, and one group had the KT tape on them that used the proper technique and they were placed at the correct place on their muscles. And the other group also had KT tape on them, and there wasn't any technique used to place those tapes on them. So after placing those tapes, the 2 groups were asked to do a drop jump. And the group that had the proper placement and the proper technique of the KT tape reported to have significantly lesser muscle soreness than the group that didn't. So as I said before, these tapes are relatively cheap, and I would give it a solid D. And before you go out there and kill me, the reason for this is because I have used these tapes, and personally, I did not find it to be doing anything at all. The next recovery tool is the almighty ice baths. Now, ice baths have been used since the dawn of time, and it's probably the first thing that you think about when it comes to muscle recovery. So ice baths are as simple as getting a tub, putting water into it, and throwing some ice into it. Ice baths can help with reducing inflammation and therefore help with reducing DOMS. So the way this works is that when you get yourself into an ice bath, the cold water causes your body to constrict its blood vessels. So when you get out of the ice bath and the temperature changes, now all of a sudden, your blood vessels start to vasodilate, which basically means it gets wider. And when your blood vessels get wider, then more blood can flow through the vessels and therefore carrying a lot more nutrients into the muscles that need them and also help repair the muscles as fast as possible. So I would give the ice bath a big A because I have used it and honestly it does help so much with John. And also it is most people's go-to recovery method when they're trying to get back on the pitch as soon as possible, feeling their best possible. Now if you're enjoying the video, please hit the subscribe button down below for more content like this. Now the next sucker is active recovery. So active recovery is basically performing low intensity exercises such as jogging or cycling to help improve blood flow in the body and therefore help reduce muscle soreness in your muscle. Personally, it's one of the best ones I've ever used because lying in bed is definitely not a good option. So moving around helps bring blood into the muscles and therefore it helps bring nutrients into the muscles and that helps the muscles recover as fast as possible. It has zero cost, you can do it anywhere, and even if you don't have weights or you don't have a stationary bike, you can always do body weight workouts such as push-ups, squats, or you could just go out for a jog and help bring that blood into your muscles. So I would give this an S because of how effective it is and it is zero cost and you can do it anywhere and it's probably one of the best things you can do for yourself after a long day of training or after a match that makes you really sore. The next recovery tool is the compression garments. So compression garments such as compression socks or compression sleeves are said to help with reducing inflammation in the body as it squeezes your muscles and therefore it helps with blood flow in the muscles and it can help with reducing soreness in your muscles. So since it helps with reducing inflammation, usually when you're injured you would wear a compression sock over your ankle or over your knee to help reduce that swelling and therefore help you recover as fast as possible from that injury. I personally have used compression socks and compression sleeves, but I have not used it in a game to help with performance improvements, but rather I've used it for injuries and to help with reducing the swelling in that area. But some professionals do wear it during games, and some clubs also opt for tighter jerseys such as the Uruguay jersey as you've seen. The reason why it's so tight is because of this compression idea, and we've also seen Ronaldo wearing long sleeves all the time because of this compression idea as well. Now that you think about it, Ronaldo has basically used almost every recovery tool out there. Anyway, these compression garments can be really expensive sometimes as they range from $50 all the way up to $200 if you want those that actually work. Otherwise, the other compression garments that you can get are probably at Sports Direct, but I'm not sure if they're going to do anything for you. So I will give this a solid C because I do believe that during injuries, it can help reduce swelling in your muscles and in your joints. But when it comes to performance improvements, I'm not sure how much it helps. And I don't think it is worth the money to go out there and get this compression garment. Now, the next sucker is the foam roller. Now, foam rolling is a self-massage technique that uses a foam roller and helps you target specific muscle areas that are sore and tender to help improve blood flow in those muscles and therefore reduce soreness. Now, it's probably one of the first things that you do when you arrive at a training center or if you're at home and you have a foam roller. When you're really sore, you sit down on that and you roll and hope that it relieves the tightness, and oftentimes than not, it does help. Now with the foam roller, since it helps improve blood circulation, again that blood is going to bring nutrients to your muscles and therefore help you feel better after foam rolling. Now I've also seen people take a sturdy pipe and slap a cloth on top of it and use it as a foam roller. So these things can be all the way from homemade to $20 to up to $100. And they're easy to get. You can get them at your local store or you can go online and buy the really expensive ones that even vibrate or they produce some sort of heat when you're rolling on it. Now, I would give the foam roller a solid A because I do believe that it can help you hit every muscle group and it can also help relieve that muscle soreness that you have after the training. Now, the next recovery method is sleep. Now, sleep is probably the most important recovery method you could ever apply in your recovery schedule because if you don't get enough sleep, then no matter what you do after that, it's just not going to help. So you could basically go into the training center the next day and use every possible tool out there to help you recover. And you might think that you're doing the best thing for your body, but if you're only getting 4 hours of sleep, then no matter what you do, those recovery tools are not going to do shit for your body. So make sure you get 7 to 9 hours of sleep, and sleep receives the solid S from me. Now, number 12 on the list is nutrition. Now, nutrition is also a very important aspect of recovery because if you're not eating the right foods such as carbohydrates, proteins, and omega-3 fatty acids, especially after a game, to replenish everything that you've lost, you are not helping your body in any way. So you have to get these nutrients in before and after the game to make sure that your body not only performs at the optimal level, but it also recovers optimally so that when you come in the next day, you are fresh to go. And most players would have a 90-minute game and then afterwards go out for McDonald's instead of fueling themselves with proper carbohydrates and proper protein. Now, nutrition will get an S from me because if you do not do this part right, no matter what recovery tool you use, your body still will not be able to recover because it does not receive the right nutrients to help it recover in the first place. Now, the next one is massage therapy. Now, massage therapy is having a masseuse to massage your muscles and help improve blood flow into your muscles and therefore bring in more nutrients to help your muscles recover. Now, if you don't have a masseuse, you could go to a spa and get a massage. And having personally used this, I can say that it does feel really good after a massage as you feel really light and you feel that you have so much more range of motion than you did before. Just make sure when you go to a spa for a massage, don't start moaning or it can get really creepy. Now, massage therapy can also help with injuries as it can help release muscle strain, and therefore it gets a solid A from me because I believe that you can get it done for a relatively cheap price and it does have a lot of benefits to it. Now, next is the Epsom salt. Now, Epsom salt are basically magnesium sulfate, or they are better known as bath salt. So basically, you put this in your bath and it is supposed to absorb into your body through your skin and therefore help with bodily function. And I couldn't find any kind of research that supports the fact that it does get absorbed through your skin. So the Epsom salt has to get an F from me. Now, although it might seem intimidating that pro footballers are using all these fancy tools to help them recover as best as possible, what you have to understand is that these pro players have their clubs buying these tools for them and therefore they just have to go into the center and use these tools. And although they do have these tools at home as well, they have the money for it. You, my friend, you probably do not have the money for it. And if you do, I would say save that money because if you haven't found out already, shit's expensive. Football trials are expensive, football gear is expensive, hotels are expensive, travel is expensive. So if you really do want to invest in yourself, save that money or maybe get yourself the most basic recovery tools that you can find and then focus on the S tier and the A tier tool. And then maybe when you really need it, then maybe you can go down to the B tier. But apart from that, you really do not need to purchase any of the tools from the C tier and below. All you have to do is stick to the basics and 90% of your recovery will come from the S tier and the other 10% you can supplement it from the A or B tier. Now, if you want to know the fastest way to improve as a footballer, then check out this full guide right here. But apart from that, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed that, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers!